guys, welcome back to The Kind of Beauty, cruelty-free and vegan beauty reviews. First off, before we get started with makeup and everything, I wanted to say thank you to FTLA Apparel for this beautiful shirt, Be Kind to Animals. That's all I ever ask, just be kind to animals. They have really beautiful designs, and they have a ton of designs just for every taste, for every kind of vegan. They have environmental things, they have animal things, they even have outfits for dogs. So go on FTLA Apparel. This is not sponsored. I just really enjoy what they do, and I think that they deserve all the success in the world. I've also got my Friends Not Food bag back here illustrated by Ellie. You can find her on Etsy or on Instagram as well. She does all of these kinds of designs. I also got a postcard and a little sticker too that says like, eat beans, not beings. I love it. Okay, without further ado, let's get to the makeup. So I think this will be a familiar situation for all of you. I went to Ulta to return something, and I came home with a haul. Yes, I know. But I've got some new stuff that I've never tried out before, and I'm just really excited to get into it. I tried to get a good variety of stuff. I didn't want to get like several lip products or several face products, so I got all kinds of different makeup items. So first I have this face mask by Pacifica. Of course, a coconut rehab mask. I have so many things from their coconut rehab line. I have the coconut micellar water. I have the coconut face lotion. I have so many things. Oh, I have the coconut shampoo. I have the coconut hair mask. I absolutely love their coconut line. And so I knew that I would just love to, get the coconut face mask. It says it's for all skin types, especially stressed, specifically for if you've been wearing a lot of makeup like every single day, or if you've just been like out in the elements a lot. This is a good mask to kind of bring your skin back to zero. So I'm going to be trying this another time. I'm not going to put a face mask on camera because I would literally just be sitting here. So I'll put this on my own time. I'll put a review up of it on my blog because I'm going to do a blog post for this video. The next item I have is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer in Dewy Finish. I feel like recently they've really upped their game, come out with fantastic foundation that my fellow influencers are really enjoying, and just like really expanding on their makeup products. So I was really excited to pick up something from them. I knew I wanted something from Wet n Wild. I'm not really the type of person that likes a dewy finish, but since there are so many like matte foundations out there and it's really hard to find good hydrating foundations, I figured this isn't a bad thing to have in my arsenal. And this was $5, so I figured why not? It's definitely worth a try. And Wet n Wild is so good, especially in the Ulta near me. I don't know how it is for you, but the Ulta near me, all the Wet n Wild like products in their section are labeled whether or not they're vegan. So I didn't even have to like look it up on my phone. Is this product vegan? Is this product not vegan? They just had it right there on the shelf. They've made a really good concerted effort to make more vegan products and make their vegan products known. Next I have the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Full Coverage Foundation. They say that this lasts for 24 hours, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I wasn't really looking for a full coverage foundation, but I've seen this on Instagram a lot, so I really wanted to give it a try. I wasn't able to buy NYX products for a long time because they weren't really sure. I guess the correct way to say it was that they weren't really keeping track of which products were vegan, which products weren't vegan. They weren't like separating them in production. So when asked which of your products are vegan, they really couldn't say due to like legal reasons. They couldn't say, oh, this product is vegan, this product is not vegan. That's my understanding. If someone from NYX wants to come on this video and tell me, hey, that's not actually what happened, that was just what I read. So for the longest time, I couldn't buy any NYX products because we just didn't know. It wasn't readily available which products of theirs were vegan. But recently they've changed that. They've totally revamped and they've made sure to designate which of their products are vegan, which of them are not vegan, and I want to patronize their business because of that. And also because I just miss them. I used to use them all the time before I was vegan. I was still cruelty free, but before I was using exclusively vegan products, I really loved NYX. So I'm excited to get back into it, and I'm excited to try this foundation. Next I have the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer in Fair. They didn't have a lot of shades, but I'm happy that they had a fair shade. It might be a little too dark for me. I'm not sure. never know until you put it on, right? So this was only $3. I mean, it's e.l.f. You know that it's going to be inexpensive. I know some people really love this concealer. I'm super picky about my concealer. Like, the only concealer that honestly has worked for me has been the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and thank goodness it's vegan because I was not interested in switching. So I'm willing to try it out because it's $3. You know, maybe I need to branch out a little bit, but I'm like, this has to perform really well in order for me to, like, you know, be really impressed with it. So we'll see. Next is the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I've never done cream contour before. It's just not something that I was ever really inclined to do. I do really like the no makeup look, especially where my foundation is concerned, and like my bronzing and everything, but I figured, you know what? Everyone's loving it. There must be a reason for that, so I'm gonna brave it. I'm gonna try it out for the first time on camera today. If I mess it up, please be gentle with me. So yeah. Okay, so last but not least, my final product in my haul is the Too Faced Melted Matte-Talic Magic Metal Transformer. I had to look at the box because it's a mouthful. I am really excited for this because this is basically a lip topper that will turn any of your lipsticks metallic, and I love metallic lipsticks, but I'm like, I want all the shades. I wish I could have more of them, but I just don't have the budget to buy all of those metallic lipsticks. And I'm a huge proponent for like practicality and versatility, and if this can make all of my lipsticks metallic and I can just have a metallic lipstick whenever I want, that's awesome. This was $21, and I think honestly, if it does what it says it's gonna do, that is worth every single penny. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna put on the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Primer. All right, let's see. Oh, it's like pigmented. That's interesting. It's like flesh toned. Okay, so I'm gonna start with just a little bit. I mean, you should only be using a little bit for your primer anyway. Let's see. Okay, that feels really nice. I was afraid that it was going to feel greasy, but it's not bad. It does soak in really quickly, which is nice. It soaks in really quickly, which is nice, because you don't want to be sitting around forever waiting for your primer to catch up to the rest of you. Yeah, it just feels like skin now. That's really nice. This is so nice. I feel like even just by itself, like my skin feels really glowy and healthy, but not like oily. It's a really nice glow. You could just put this on by itself. Okay, so now it's time for the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. This is a matte foundation. I have very dry skin, so it might dry me out. It might not look good, but I tried it on in the store and it looked fine. So it was very creamy. I'm hoping that with this dewy primer, it'll help it out a little bit. We'll see. All right, let's pump it out. Okay, that's a pretty true neutral. I'm going to be applying it with my wet makeup sponge as usual. It feels really nice. It doesn't feel cakey or dry. It smells interesting. I can't quite tell how it smells. Actually, you know, since this is full coverage, I feel like I'm putting a little too much on. I've been wearing a lot of like light coverage foundations lately where I have to put a lot on, so all right, let's blend it out, see how it goes. So first impressions, just that little bit on my cheek gave me like a medium coverage, which is nice because I like having buildable coverage. Some days medium coverage is, you know, the best thing for me. Some days I need full coverage. So you can definitely get a nice medium coverage out of this if that's what you're after. Light coverage, I don't think that's gonna happen, but I can still kind of see my freckles a little bit. I can still see some of my bumps and whatnots here, but it's nice. It's evening out my skin tone really nicely. It definitely is a true neutral. I don't feel like it's too yellow or too warm or anything. So far, so good. And it's not super drying. It's not drying down really fast. This is pretty light for my current complexion, but I'm anticipating fall, I am anticipating winter, and I'm gonna need a lighter foundation in just a couple of months. So if I have to, you know, wait on this one a little bit, I'm okay with that. One of the biggest tests for foundation for me is how it performs on my forehead, because my forehead is easily the driest part of my face. So it's really important for me in a foundation to make sure that it doesn't separate or get kind of like, you know, catch on my dry flakes on my forehead. I feel like I'm having a little bit of trouble blending it out. Like it's not wanting to come with my makeup sponge. So first impressions, my forehead looks beautiful. It looks flawless. It's not catching on any dry skin. It looks really nice. So it is catching a bit on my nose, which is kind of weird because I don't feel like my nose has a lot of dry skin. Yeah, it doesn't look totally smooth on my nose, but let's see if we can't help that. Okay, so now it's time to try the e.l.f. concealer, specifically the HD Lifting Concealer in Fair. So this, like most other concealers, has a doe foot applicator. It's really nice. I feel like e.l.f. has upped their game with their packaging, especially. This is glass, or at least it feels like glass, and it feels just very like, it feels very premium. It feels very, very high end. So, you know, kudos to you, e.l.f. on that. Okay, so the concealer is definitely dark. Like this says fair, but it is, just from swiping it on, this is like for light skin tones at most, for sure. It's kind of warmish too, which is not really gonna work for me, but you know what? We're trying things on. Maybe once I work it in with the sponge, it'll lighten up a little bit. Nope, not lightening up at all. This is super warm and it's darker than my foundation, so even though this is dark and definitely not for fair skin tones, I have to say the formula and the coverage are actually really good, and that's a lot coming from me. Concealers have to be really good in order for me to give them, you know, my seal of approval, because I have really dark circles and I expect a lot from my concealer. And the formula, it just looks like skin. It looks really gorgeous, actually. I wish they had this in a lighter shade, because I would buy this. Like I would go out and get the lighter shade. I would absolutely keep this. I'm gonna have to return it because it's too dark, but this is just beautiful. I can't believe it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything. It does not look like I'm wearing concealer at all. I really can't get over this. I'm mad. Why, e.l.f.? Why did you lie to me? This is not fair. It's not fair. So funny. I cannot believe how awesome this formula is. And I cannot believe that it is out of my reach because they don't make a lighter shade than Fair. Unless I'm really sorely mistaken. I don't know, maybe I'll keep it because it does match my skin tone really nicely, just not, it's not bright enough for under my eyes, so maybe I'll keep it to like cover blemishes or something. If I ever end up with a zit, I can just kind of put this over it. So I don't know, maybe I will keep this. Okay, so now I'm going to set everything with my trusty ColourPop No Filter Sheer Pressed Powder in Fair. I use this all the time. It works with everything that I've tried it with, all kinds of foundations, all kinds of formulas. The foundation is taking beautifully to the finishing powder. It just looks like skin. Like, my skin doesn't look flawless because I didn't put on that second layer, but if I did put on that second layer, it would just look like skin. This is really beautiful foundation. For $15 especially. Okay, so I'm not super mad anymore about the concealer. The concealer has kind of started to settle a little bit into my fine lines now that I've put powder on it. You know, it's not horrible. It's definitely not the worst, but it's not doing its job. It's definitely settling into fine lines and not being very flattering right now. The NYX foundation does look really beautiful on my cheeks. On my forehead, I can tell that it's catching on my dry flakes a little bit, and I literally just exfoliated like this morning. So it really shouldn't be doing that. There shouldn't be any dry skin to catch on, but it went up and found it. So if you don't have dry skin, if you have like normal combination skin, this would be really beautiful. I can tell that it's like the texture and the coverage, like especially on my cheeks, just looks beautiful. Like I love it. But on my forehead, matte foundations just don't work for my forehead. They just don't. On the bright side, it's definitely not the worst matte foundation I've ever tried. It's not catching, you know, horribly. It's just, if I look really, really closely in my mirror, I can see it. But if I were just out and about, this would be a perfectly acceptable foundation to have on. Okay, so now I'm going to brave the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm have fun with it. I'm going to be using my Spectrum C02 brush. It's a flat brush and it's very firm, so I think it would be great for cream contouring. Okay, so it comes in this nice little palette. If we open it up, it's got 4 shades in here, one for highlighting, which is definitely way too dark for me and definitely way too yellow, so I'm not going to be using that shade. But this nice little like tannish beige shade right here I think would go really nicely. Okay, I'm going to go in this color, my brush. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to blend it. Oh wow, it actually blends really nicely. I truly have no idea what I'm doing. I have never done a cream contour before, but I think that this is really nice. It's pigmented, but it blends out really nicely to give you a nice natural contour. It's funny, it looks much more exaggerated on the camera, I think, than it does in real life, which is not usually the case. Usually the camera like washes things out and you're not usually, only the things you want people to see in high def. Those are the things that it doesn't show very nicely, but the things that you're like, no, I swear it doesn't look that like, that deep. That's the thing that it accentuates, right? Struggle is real. Well, in real life, it looks really nice. I think, yeah, on the camera, it looks a little bit better now too. That's really pretty. It looks like just kind of a healthy, natural glow. It was really easy to blend out. I think you definitely need a firm brush to do it, or if you're a fan of doing it with a sponge or your finger, this is actually really easy to work with. I was really terrified that I was going to totally mess it up, but it looks really nice. I think this looks really beautiful. It's just like a nice healthy glow. You know, just like a little bit of something on the cheekbones just to give you a little bit of definition there. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look heavy, it blended really nicely into my makeup. I'll definitely keep this cream contour palette. I think it worked really nicely with all of my makeup. I think even though I messed up, it still looks really nice. I just had to go over it with a little bit of foundation and just kind of pull back a little bit. And it looks beautiful, so I'll keep it. Okay, so I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup off camera. When I come back, we're going to try out the Too Faced Magic Metal Transformer. Okay, I'm back. So I have a full face of makeup on now. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I feel like the cream contour, the e.l.f. contour palette has traveled a little bit. Like it's really like, I feel like it's a lot lower than it was, especially since I fixed it with the foundation. So I don't know. I don't know if that was my mistake or if the makeup doesn't stay where it's supposed to. I'll try it out again on another day just to see if it does the same thing. But I mean, the color is still consistent. The foundation is looking really nice, honestly. Like looking at my forehead, it feels like it's not catching on the skin like it was before. Don't ask me how. I don't know if that's the primer or if it just kind of got settled and everything. My nose still looks a little bit powder puffy, but it does look better. So I've never experienced a foundation that gets better with time, but apparently this is one of them. So I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm still on the fence about keeping the foundation because it is a matte foundation. I'll just have to see how it wears throughout the day. I'll do a full day wear test to see how it performs. I'm still not sure if I'm going to keep the foundation. I'm going to see how it wears throughout the day, and then I'll make my final decision later. So now for the part that I'm most excited about, we're going to put on the Too Faced, I have to look at it again, Melted Matte Metallic Magic Metal Transformer. I've got Lost on my lips by ColourPop. It is a satin liquid lip, oldie but goodie. It's one of my like perfect red shades. So I figured there would be no better lip color to try than this one. So believe it or not, this is actually the first Too Faced product I'm ever trying. Their liquid lipsticks are just so expensive. They're like $20 a piece. So I can only get like one at a time and then I can't choose and then I get overwhelmed and I always end up leaving. If this means that I can transform any lipstick that I have into a metallic lipstick, I am going to lose my mind in like the best way. Okay, let's stop talking. I just want to put it on. Okay, so it has a doe foot applicator. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand first. Let's see how that goes. Oh boy. Do you see? Oh my goodness. I am excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Amp up your favorite melted matte metallic lipstick with this magic metal transformer. The opalescent prismatic pearls transform your favorite shade into a mystical holographic version of itself, or wear alone for drama, dimension, and fun. Yeah, this looks like drama right here. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in the interest of preserving the color that's on this applicator, I'm gonna dab it on my finger so that I don't get a bunch of red all over it. Okay, so I've got plenty on my finger here. Let's see how this goes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh my, I am so happy about this. This is gorgeous. This is like, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera. It's always hard to tell on my screen if you're like able to see the effects that are happening here. I'm trying to play with the light. See if you can tell what it's doing. This is amazing. It does give it a very distinct like blue sheen. So I wouldn't say that it makes your lipstick look metallic, but it definitely does make it look very opalescent and very like unicorny. So you can, you can definitely layer this. Like I have just a little bit of like just a light dab on it, and it definitely will make someone do a double take like, ooh, what's that? But it is very blue and purpley. So if you're not looking for a blue purpley effect, then maybe skip this one. But if you just want like some really cool like light effects and some, like I said, opalescence on your lips, then I don't think you'll be disappointed with this at all. I'm gonna put a little bit more on just so that you can see how it's how it looks on the lips, just in case you can't. I've got to say, this really is the coolest thing. It's interesting because it does say to use with the other Too Faced lipsticks, like the very specific line of lipsticks here. But I figured it could work on any lipstick. It definitely does like sit on top of your lipstick. I had a hard time kind of like blending it in and making it look like it was one with my lipstick, but it doesn't look bad. Like it's almost like putting glitter on top of your lips, just a little bit more of a sheen and less like obvious in your face glitter. I think it's really cool. If they made like different shades of this, because this is very obviously very purpley and very blue, if they made more of like a sheer or a gold tone or a neutral tone, I think that would be like, this would be great for something for Too Faced to expand on. If I'm wearing warm tone makeup like I am now, it's not really gonna like make sense that I'll have like a cool tone like shimmer on my lips. Who knows, maybe I'll change my mind about that, but just my first initial reaction to it is that this would look good with certain looks, and with other looks it just might not go with it. But I mean, still, this is beautiful. I just really hope that they come out with more shades for this, because I love the idea of this. This is such a fantastic product, and I would love to see like a more gold or warm toned, or neutral color. Okay, so there you have it. That is my Ulta haul for today. I loved the primer. I think it soaked in really quickly and really nicely. I don't know if it's making the foundation feel more like a natural finish foundation. Like, I don't know if I used a different primer, if this foundation wouldn't be like at doing as well as it is because it is a matte foundation. So I'm gonna try this primer out with other foundations that I have that I know like look really good on me, just to see how it does like in a more controlled environment. And same thing for the foundation too. I'm gonna try the foundation with a different primer just to see how it performs with my everyday primer. And also it's like, yeah, it's 5 o'clock now, so I don't really have enough time to do like an all day wear test. So I'll do that on a different day. I'll do like an all day, full day wear test where I don't have as many variables. The e.l.f. concealer definitely was too dark to put under my eyes, like to actually use as a concealer, but I did use it as an eyeshadow primer. It was so creamy and the texture was so beautiful and it set down so nicely. I think I'm gonna keep it as an eyeshadow primer and I'm just not gonna use it as a concealer because it works really nice as an eyeshadow primer. With the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette, I don't know, I feel like it traveled down my cheek. I don't know, that could just be me. That could just be because I've never used cream contour before. So that could just be user error, or it could be that the makeup travels. I'm gonna try that again on another day just to kind of see if it is user error, if I just need to use a little bit less, or if it does travel throughout the day. I think the Too Faced Metallic Lip Cover is really cool. I'm gonna be using it definitely because I love like really cool like spacey opalescent effects like that, and I could put it on any of my lipsticks. So that's my Ulta haul. Thank you guys for stopping by. As always, everything in this video is vegan and cruelty free. That will always be the case for me. If you liked this video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, head over to my blog. I've got lots of stuff over there. I've got hints on going cruelty free, lots of good info. Thank you so much for choosing to be kind, and I will see you next time. Bye.